Hello and welcome to AutoToday. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and don't forget to hit the bell icon as well. And now that all the formalities have been taken care of, let's get to the car we have with us today. This is the Mercedes-Benz A-Class sedan, or as Mercedes likes to call it, the A-Class limousine. This is the stepping stone into the world of the three-pointed star, which means this is the most affordable Mercedes-Benz on sale in India. Well, once it goes on sale on 25th of March. But does that mean you have to compromise on luxury, tech, and everything else Mercedes-Benz is known for, or is it all the same? Does it still follow the same ethos? So let's put all that to test and get on with this review. Styling of the A-Class sedan draws inspiration from the likes of the CLS with the low-set nose and sharp triangular headlamps that feature LED lighting flanking the grille housing a large Mercedes-Benz insignia. In profile, the A-Class sports a proportionate 3-box shape complete with smart-looking 17-inch alloy wheels. The rear features LED tail lamps shaped in line with the A's elder siblings, the latest iterations of the C-Class and the E-Class. The A-Class sedan also happens to be the most aerodynamic production car in the world with a drag coefficient of 0.22. The dual screen setup from the E-Class and the outgoing S-Class has trickled down to the A-Class as well. The sedan features twin 10.25-inch displays, one that acts as the instrument panel while the other is a touch-enabled interface for infotainment functions. The IP can be configured as per the user's liking and features multiple display themes. For accessing various functions, one can use the touchpads on the steering wheel, the touchpad in the center console, or the touchscreen itself. The turbine-style AIRCON vents look quite cool, and with plenty of leather and soft touch surfaces, the cabin does manage to exude a sense of luxury befitting a Mercedes-Benz. However, there are certain plastic bits that are a bit of a letdown in terms of quality. So let's get to the rear seat of the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. First things first, the space. This seat is set to my driving position and my height is 5'8" for reference, and as you can see, I've got enough knee room. There's enough space underneath the seat for me to stretch out my legs. So all that is very nice, and headroom is plenty as well, at least for me. 6-footers, their head might be a little closer to the roof lining, but I think they'll still be comfortable sitting in the rear seat. The only issue I have with the seating position is that it is slightly knees up, so under thigh support is not that great. Aside from that, space wise, despite being the smallest sedan Mercedes-Benz has to offer, space is not that big of an issue. Moving on to the amenities you get in the rear seat, you get AIRCON vents. It's a 2-zone climate control, so no temperature setting, but you still get AIRCON vents, and you get the 2 USB Type-C charging ports back here. You get an armrest with cup holders which can pop out like this, and if you fold it up, you can squeeze in one more person here, but that's not recommended. It's best suited for 2 adults, especially because there's a big transmission tunnel, so that person sitting in the middle won't be quite comfortable. Then space wise, the feeling of space, there is a large sunroof. It doesn't extend all the way back, although it is fairly large. Does help make the cabin feel a little airy, but the roof lining is all black, which I think robs the rear seat experience slightly in terms of the feeling of space. Maybe a lighter shade would have helped make the cabin feel a little more airier, but the experience overall in the rear seat is quite good. The A-Class's boot can take in 405 liters of cargo, but without the space saver spare placed in it. Aside from the features we've already mentioned, the A-Class sedan also comes with electrically adjustable front seats with memory function for both passengers, 64-color ambient lighting setup, a wireless charger, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support as well. There are 7 airbags to keep occupants safe, and front collision detection with auto braking function is available as well. Merc is offering the A-Class with 2 engine options. There is a 2-liter diesel, which is the A200D, and the one I'm driving is the A200, which gets a 1.3-liter turbocharged petrol. Now this engine makes about 163 bhp of maximum power and 250 Nm of peak torque. The transmission here is a 7-speed dual clutch automatic, and Now you might be thinking to yourself that, a 40 lakh car with a 1.3 liter engine, that's it, that seems a little too small for a car like this. Well, on paper, yeah, it does seem a little underwhelming, a 1.3 liter turbo, that's it. But in the real world, the results are quite positive actually. Performance is brisk enough. Mercedes is claiming a 0 to 100 kmph time of 8.3 seconds, which is quite good. The car performs really well in the city. The transmission does its job without giving us any reason to complain. The engine also feels punchy enough, so if you put it in sport mode, then the engine does really come alive, and you can push it quite a bit, and it doesn't feel underpowered by any measure, which is a good thing. So you get 4 driving modes to choose from. First one is individual, where you can customize individual aspects of the car as per your preferences. So you can set the steering to sport or comfort and change the powertrain behavior and ESP settings as per your liking. The other 3 are preset modes: sport, comfort, eco, and they do exactly what they say. So not going to elaborate too much on that. They will alter behavior. Again, eco will dull things down, help you get close to that 17.5 kmpl claimed fuel efficiency figure. Comfort is a balance between sport and eco, and is the one which we found the best suited for regular city driving. Closer to the red line, the engine can get a little loud, but refinement levels in general are quite good, especially when the engine is not being pushed to the limits. When it comes to ride and handling, Merc's focus has clearly been on comfort, which means the suspension setup is on the softer side. The A-Class deals with bad roads rather well and does a fine job of keeping its occupants comfortable. Merc has obviously kept focus on comfort when it comes to the A-Class, and I think that works quite well, not just for customers who like Merc for that aspect, for their comfortable, luxurious ride, but in general buyers in the segment and even newcomers who will want to step into the world of the 3-pointed star. I think they would like the way the car behaves on bad roads and isolates you from imperfections on the road. The ride is quite nice, quite comfortable. It irons out the bumps and imperfections pretty well, and even if you're sitting in the rear seat, if you're being chauffeured around or someone else is driving, the ride is still quite comfortable, which is a very positive thing. Where the Mercedes A-Class falls short is when it comes to handling, outright handling. Even in sport mode, sport mode does not change anything in terms of the suspension setup. It weighs up the steering and sharpens throttle responses, and makes the transmission hold on to a gear longer, downshift earlier. So in that aspect, the suspension is on the softer side, so you won't be quite that confident if you want to take corners at much higher speeds than usual. So you would want to take it easy through corners, not push the car too much. Straight line, yeah, it's decent enough, 8.3 seconds like I said, but it's not an outright driver's car as such. But I don't think that's a big problem, because again, the customer demands are such that they would rather have a comfortable, luxurious car over something that compromises on ride quality in the name of handling and dynamic capabilities. And with all latest Mercs, you get the MBUX system, so you can just talk to the car by saying, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help you?"
Mercedes Me Connect will allow for Alexa and Google Voice integration as well, so users can actually talk to their devices to find out more about their vehicle.
Alexa, ask Mercedes what is my car fuel level?
The fuel tank of your A200D is at 90%.
Alexa, ask Mercedes what is my car range?
With the current fuel tank, you and your A200D can cruise another 172 miles or 278 kilometers.
So, long story short, yes, the A-Class does fare rather well in terms of offering buyers luxury, comfort, features and tech they'd expect from a Mercedes-Benz. For an entry-level offering, space is sufficient and it does a fine job of dealing with our less than perfect roads. Needless to say, a lot rests on the pricing of the A-Class, which will be revealed towards the end of March. Mercedes will offer the A-Class in a single, fully loaded trim, so there won't be any aggressively priced entry-level models. Prices are expected to fall in the 40 to 43 lakh range ex-showroom, which is at par with its chief rival, the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe.